record. Tuatahiranga mihi nui ki a koe, e nā nau I whai wā mai ki te kōrero ki a mātou nei. Just firstly, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from and what your position is.
Kia ora ripeka, no tauranga mō nā hau, ko Ngāti Ranginui, ko Ngāti Rangi, ko Ngāti Pūkinga. What's my position? That's a really hard question. At the moment, for the purposes of this conversation, I'm kind of co-leading the Māori community response in the COVID situation.
It's been a pretty hectic 4 weeks, even, you know, kind of 8 weeks, especially for across the health sector. And what's been quite interesting to watch is how the Māori response is rolling out, I guess. One of the initiatives that you are leading is a kaupapa Māori community-based assessment centre. And in Tauranga Moana, that's called Pahi Tahi. What is Pahi Tahi?
Well, Pahi Tahi is just the first bus off the rank. But what Pahi Tahi is really is, as you've said, a community response to the COVID situation. So big community-based assessment centres had been set up for community assessing of COVID. So that's the swabbing that has been done. But we really understood that a large number of our community who are significantly vulnerable would probably not access those big centres because they don't tend to access other services. So this was kind of a way of ensuring that our whānau who aren't close to town, didn't have transport in, or just felt uncomfortable coming out of their bubble to come into the city to have an assessment, could have a COVID assessment and also some wraparound services which might help them, especially during this lockdown time.
I know you guys have been to a few of our close-knit Māori communities over the past couple of weeks. Where have you been, and how has that been?
Yep, so we have been to a few places. So we've been to Tuapiro, out past Katikati, and then Te Rere Atu Kahia, which is our Tauranga side of Katikati, Ngāti Moko Marae, out the east side of Te Puke, and yesterday we were in Maketu, and we've got a full schedule for Pahi Tahi and Pahi Rua next week, going out to even more of our whānau. So despite the situation and despite the reason for us going out, it's actually been a really positive experience. And I don't want to say that I've enjoyed it, because it has actually, I wouldn't say it's been enjoyable, but it's really good to get out and about with our whānau and talk to them and hear what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm. What I find interesting about this approach is that you're actually working with iwi and our Māori health providers in the communities, who actually, they're the one with our strong connection, their strong connections to our people. How important was it to make sure that everyone was on board this Pahi Tahi waka? Excuse the pun, but
I think it was essential. It wouldn't have gotten off the ground without that collaboration. And so I suppose I just want to stress that it's a Māori-led initiative. So the iwi and the Māori health providers, who, if I'm honest, you know, not communicated that well amongst each other up until this point in time. So it's been a really positive experience for us as Māori providers and iwi to, you know, sit around the same Zoom table and come together on this, and then partnering with the DHB and the PHOs and the support from those organisations to roll this out has been awesome. But you're right, our Māori organisations and our iwi know our whānau the best. So for this to work, those organisations had to be leading the way.
I know there have been a few of our whānau, not a few of our whānau, actually quite a few of our whānau turning up to Pahi Tahi, accessing the services. So when a whānau are thinking about going to visit Pahi Tahi, when Pahi Tahi is in their community, what kind of symptoms or what kind of symptoms should our whānau be suffering from to access the service?
Yeah, so at the moment it's still kind of a COVID assessment service with some wraparound other health services. So we're really looking to see whānau who've got respiratory conditions. So that means, a bit of a cough, a sore throat, runny nose, anything to do with their chest or with, they've got sinusy things, any of that breathing issues. Those are the types of whānau that we would really like to see, because those are the kind of the wraparound symptoms for a COVID-related illness. To be fair, the majority of people that we have seen probably don't have COVID, but we've got a doc with us. And so if you come and you've got some other respiratory condition, like a chest infection, for example, then the doc can prescribe the antibiotics that are needed right there and then, and you go home back to your bubble, sorted kind of thing. But also we're seeing whānau who have a bit of social need at the moment. It's quite difficult to get into the supermarket, for example, now, especially if you might be a solo parent and you don't want to take your kids to the supermarket. Like, how do you actually manage that? And so we've got kind of like a kaupapa Māori wraparound service available at the site as well. So if people are really struggling with other things that are not health related, then they could pop down and have a kōrero.
Lots of our whānau actually get quite whakamā about visiting doctors or health professionals that aren't Māori or that don't understand ngā āhuatanga Māori. Do we have Māori kaimahi on Pahi Tahi?
Yep, so the majority of the staff on Pahi Tahi and Pahi Rua, which is going out next week, are Māori, but our non-Māori colleagues who are our staff have he ngākau Māori. So we have carefully chosen who will be engaging with our community. And I think that's part of the reason why I said before, I kind of want to say I enjoyed it, because actually that's a group of health professionals, a team of people that really do care about our whānau. And so that's just a really nice group of people who really get it. You don't have to teach them about equity or how to interact with whānau appropriately. They just got it already. So whānau can feel really comfortable that the people that they're going to see, understand who they are and they can be themselves.
So we've covered off why people should be visiting in terms of symptoms. So Anna, can you break down to us what's the tikanga? So what's the process of coming to see Pahi Tahi? Because we know that you can't just walk up or come on your horse or anything like that. We want whānau to come prepared and protected. What's our tikanga or what's our ture around when people are coming to see you?
And we had one old koroa turn up on his motor scooter. That's not appropriate. Whānau need to come in a waka and maintain their bubble. So ideally, whānau would come in their waka from their bubble, only with the people in their bubble. We understand that there are some issues around that sometimes, so we'll always work with the local either hapu organisation or hauora in the area that we're going, and we can usually arrange for a waka to come and collect someone if they really need it. So you turn up in your waka, whoever meets you at the gate gives everyone in the car a mask, so you chuck one of those on, and then it's basically just a drive-through process. So you just stop at each person along the way, and everyone you see has a different kōrero with you. If the nurse that you see first thinks that you need a COVID assessment, then she'll send you over to the doc. Or if she thinks you need some other medical help, you know, like a script or something like that, she'll also send you to the doc. But if they're there for reasons other than COVID, then you might be sent to our whānau ora kaimahi, for example, who can help you out with some other bits and pieces. But the whole time you're in the car, everyone's got a mask on. All of our team are fully geared up in their protective equipment. So we would still encourage people who are well not to come. So if you're feeling well and you are well, then you probably shouldn't come and see us. It's only for people who are feeling unwell. And
why is that?
as best as possible.
Why is that?
It's just an infection control process. So if you're well, we want to keep you as well out of harm's way as possible. So staying, you know, it's that whole kaupapa about staying home. So we're kind of, you're not breaking your bubble by coming to see us, but you're expanding it, you know, because you're interacting with us, even though we're in full protective equipment and you've got a mask on, it's still not staying at home, which is what our kaupapa is at the moment. And even when we move into level 3, if we continue to run this as a COVID assessment service, we'll probably still be under the same kind of thing. We want to keep people who are well away from the virus as much as possible. So yeah.
Any final message for our whānau over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, come and see us if you need to. Don't feel whakama at all. It's a really awesome team, and even if you're thinking to yourself, oh, you know, I feel unwell, but I don't know if I tick the boxes, just come along. We'll tell you if you tick the boxes. We'll send you home if you're not supposed to be there. I suppose the key thing is don't just come for a look-see.
Nohi.
That's kind of, yeah, we don't want you to just come for a nohi. We want you to come because you need help. But in terms of just life over the next little while, you know, it's really stressful. I was saying to Deepika before we started this interview that I've never been so anxious in my life as in the last kind of 2 months. So don't feel that you're unusual for experiencing emotions that you might not have experienced before. And, you know, think about who your networks are. We could hook you up to some networks if you need to, or, you know, just keep in touch with the whānau. Practice your wairua processes, you know, start doing some karakia in the morning and at night, all of those things that we might not do so well on a day-to-day basis when we just live our lives. But at this time, those types of things become really important for us, reconnecting to those things that are greater than us, that help us to get through things like this. Yeah.
Hey, just before we go, what's some of the responses been like from our whānau that are visiting?
We got delivered a cake yesterday. One of the old kuia, she made us a cake and we were all like, oh, are we allowed to eat this cake?
Yeah. Ko te kai a te rangatira, ne, he keke.
We have had only positive response. I mean, lineup, we're really period of time. And yeah, I think what we've felt is that people are just grateful that we've taken the effort to turn up, I think. And we're looking for feedback from whānau and from the providers that support us. But yeah, it seems to be positive.
Great. He wai anō ka oti tāua tēnei kōrero I nāianei. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us e te tākuta. Kei taku whanaunga ki a koe, Anna. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou ko tō kapa, nā koutou tēnei kaupapa I kawe a henga wiki e haere ake nei. Ngā mihi nui.
Kia ora, Ripika.